Hold on. Marcus, you don't take your foot outside and drill that ball in the
Concrete, welcome to All Ball. Format unique, all access for all y'all. What the spill like? Back full of elite athletes that wanna teach and it speaks to the streets, so it feel right. Marcus Liberty, a legend on and off the court to give you what you need. Robert Reed is your co-host. Go, yeah. Like and subscribe and follow like a crossover. Never know what might fall through this bitch tomorrow. So, All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. Cause all I know is All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. Cause all I know is All Ball Chicago.
Welcome to another edition of All Ball Chicago. I'm your co-host, Robert Bobby Reed, and I got the legend, the NBA veteran, the McDonough All-American, your host, Marcus, living in the building. What's up, Marcus?
What's up, my beautiful people?
As you can see, your boy is on the road, but you know I'm always ready to knock it back, hit it out the park. What's up, big fella? How you doing today, man?
Oh, man, all is well, man. You see I'm rocking what shirt I'm rocking.
All right, okay. You got the big fella, the other big fella.
You know, ain't no hating over here, man. I'm my man made this for me. My man Michael Cox, born in art. And he sent it to me, man, and blessed it. I was gonna give it to Jeff, but I said, man, I can't get this stuff, man. It's just too cold. Look at it, man. It's just too cold.
That's cold, man.
Too cold, you know. So I'm gonna rock it. I'm not gonna go outdoors with it or nothing like that. But since we live, I said let me put it on today. And he did his thing with it, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's one topic, you know, like looking at me marketing, how I'm marketing my man who, you know, is an artist who's getting down, is doing his thing. My man Michael Cox, you know, straight out of Chicago, man.
Shout out to Michael Cox, man. That's cold, Michael Cox.
Yeah, born vain, man.
Maybe you can make one of me, man. You know, I got a little photo, you know.
He could do it. He can make one of your whole family.
Word?
Yeah, man. He can do your whole family, man. So, but let's jump right into it, man. Some of the topics that we were discussing earlier today, and that's one of the reasons why we jumped on too, because a lot of times we become victims of our community, right? Our neighborhoods, and some people just don't know how to handle certain situations or what it looks like. You know, like, is it basketball? You want a football? Is it an athlete? Is it entertainment? Is it gangs? Is it drugs? I mean, in your neighborhood, what you see sometimes you think is the right way, you know, and sometimes, most of the time, it may not even be the case for you, you know. So like for basketball, for instance, if I know that I'm okay with basketball, I'm gonna still play it because I think sports in general helps the mind. It helps you understand what teamwork looks like and all that. But as far as trying to take it to the NBA, it's not for a lot of people. And I think a lot of our, you know, kids or parents get confused by putting it all out there right away that my son is going to be in the NBA.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think that sad as it is to say, I seen hoop dreams deflate like a true fiend's weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you remember JC said that in his rap live. You know?
But that's what we look at. So you just bust a rhyme from something you heard from Jay-Z. So I'm pretty sure at one time you probably thought you was gonna be a rapper.
I don't think it was nobody that didn't want to rap after they heard Sugar Hill Gang.
Oh boy.
But you know, man, for real, like, honestly, like you say, man, we have to have a balance, Lib, because just listening to you and Randy Brown the other day, I wanted to just tell y'all how much I admire you guys, man. coming from the projects,
Right.
from huge families, man,
Right.
and going to the pros. Like,
Right.
dude, those stories just don't happen often, man. So how many people do you know that had the same talent and maybe not the same talent, but wanted the same thing, but it didn't pan out. And that's what we're talking about, being able to have that balance and knowing, okay, I didn't make it to the pros, I could do something else. I could be a pro at something else. And we have to teach that to our kids, man. Because they push entertainment in our face 24/7. All the doggone celebrities are promoting all the products now. So when you see that, that's what you want. Kids want that stuff, man. My two little youngest, they want to be famous YouTubers. They're 9 and 7. They're ready to drop out of school right now.
Hey, it's the way it's set up now. I mean, it's totally different than when we grew up. It wasn't a lot of tech, where we see it now. There's electronics and social media. It wasn't as big. Well, it wasn't even thought of when we was coming up.
Right.
Maybe somebody was sitting in their garage trying to think of it, but we had to go off of, like, I'm just using basketball as an example now. We had to go off of newspapers, to put something in the paper about you and you excited about it, and that was us basically having our likeness and everything in someone else's hand.
Right.
Like whatever they wanted to write about us in the newspaper. And now with social media, our younger generation can tap into something that's totally different. Like you said, your son wants to be a YouTuber. There's money in that.
Yeah.
And you can pretty much, like we talked about on our past shows, be the narrative of it. You can put and say whatever you like about yourself, and people like it and people subscribe to it. And now you're starting to get, the more likes and the more people you get to subscribe to your channels, the more money you got an opportunity to make.
Yeah. And I'm grateful.
You pause, Bob.
Pause.
Oh, there you go. What did you say? Repeat it.
I don't know. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, that's like we were saying. Back when you played the game of ball, you couldn't control your narrative, Lib. You had to wait for somebody else to write it. It's important for our young guys to understand that you're more marketable now more than ever, because now you can get paid. But you got to make sure you're putting the right stuff out there.
Exactly.
And the positive stuff will always, the negative will feed for a minute. You might steamroll with it, but after that, can you deal with the backlash of it? Exactly. So you want to make sure you plant the right seeds, man. And you were telling me about a quarterback that just signed $1 million contract.
Yeah, man. The guy from, I think he committed to Ohio State. I think he signed a 3-year deal with, I don't know what company it was, but it's like $1.4 million or something like that, man. So it's money out there, definitely in the sports world, but it's also opening up a can of worms to another, way for adults to get paid off of these athletes too, these marketing companies and agents, and they don't want to help these kids now make, the decision, man. Before we go on, man, I wanted to give a shout out, man, because Randy Brown, when he was on our show, he said he didn't get a chance. That 50 and over champs was the name of the team was Block Party. He wanted to make sure that he got that out. Paul Bean, Officer Langston, Ty Bullock, Sherelle Ford, Q Dillard, and MVP said 88 Mac.
Wow.
So he wanted to make sure he got the shout out, that I get the shout out today to that, man. So
shout out, man. Shout out to the Block Party. I pretty much figure out what that meant. You remember how you go to the court and you come to the home, man, it's a block party. Ain't nothing happening here today, boy.
Right. So do you see that, Bob?
I can't hardly see that.
It says that happened with Floyd Mayweather's because of his past. He had a hard time trying to get to the Big Four. I don't know what that means, the Big Four. Does that mean bag? Get to the big bag.
That happened with Floyd Mayweather because of his past. he had a hard time trying to get to the Big Four. I don't know. You might have to repost that, pose that question and statement because I'm a little lost on that one. But the whole marketing thing with these kids, man, it's just a great situation, man. But we have to let them know, man. That, just like with professional athletes, it's 1 in a million. Singers, it's 1 in a million. So you could be the producer, you could be the songwriter, you could be the trainer, you could be the coach. There's so many other ways to make money, and we have
Right.
to let these kids know. And also to add to the fact that we, all three of us, we all finished college. Me, you, and Randy Brown. We talked about that,
Right.
and we don't shove it down anybody's throat. But we want kids to understand that that piece of paper was something that he alluded to that changed his life because he was a general manager for the Bulls, right?
Yeah. Assistant GM. He was assistant
Assistant
GM.
GM. And if
Uh,
you don't know what that role entails bringing in players, the
mhm.
general manager. So Randy Brown has been at the height of his career. He's still at the height of it, but he saw something better. He was like, hey, I want to do this. So yeah, I just want to just throw that in there.
Well, I mean, you got to think of it like this, though, Bob, right? And the reason why it's so important, if you're a basketball player, I'm using basketball players as an example. You're not going to play basketball for the rest of your life, but you could. You could become a great coach and be in the system for a very long time, meaning longevity, right? So let's say you play basketball in the pros or overseas professionally, whatever. You plan probably the max 6 to 7, maybe 8 years, right?
Right.
You're 21. So by the time you get 30 years old or 32, you're trying to get into that next phase of what you're going to do. So if you don't have that degree and say you want to still be around basketball as a coach or what have you, you need that piece of paper. You need a
Right.
degree. You need a degree to be able to do that. So when Randy mentioned that he thought everything was good because he was making the top dollars. He didn't need to look at that. But then when he wanted to go coach on the collegiate level, it was totally different. You can't come here and coach unless you have a degree. Now
Right.
it is some programs, some schools that let you. Because I remember Clyde Drexler when he was at Houston with the Houston Cougars, University of Houston Cougars. They let him get
Right.
the
If you're a
job.
pro athlete, they'll let you
He
do
got
that.
the job, but they still told him he needed to go get his degree. So he was getting his
Right.
degree while he was still on the job. So it is some programs that do that.
Well, let's be clear, man, to anybody that's listening. We're not trying to shove going back to college, getting a degree down your throat. But we are all in the game of life right now. And the game of life meaning understanding how to play the game. And playing the game means knowing what it takes to position yourself to be successful.
Right.
And you sometimes you have to go get the trade. You got to go to get the degree. You got to be an entrepreneur, but you got to do something because you're in America, the
Right.
greatest country in the world, man. Let me see. I can't hardly read that. Let me open it up a little bit. I'm the assistant athletic director at Meridian High School in Southern Illinois, and we have talent down here. And I'm trying my best to show these young people there's a different world out there. We don't have much industrial wise, and I'm trying to schedule against teams so the kids can be seen. Geographically, we're in a bad location, and by me coming from the public league coming up, I'm kind of in a pickle. Any suggestions for my brothers?
Hmm.
Okay, so he want to be able to schedule some games against some big schools up here in Chicago with his team. First
Yeah.
of all, is your team a rec team or is it a real team? Because they remember they put that post out there. One of the coaches was like, "Yeah, put my team in the top league." He said, "Now you sure this is the A league?" He was like, "Put us in there." They showed the score at halftime. It was 100-4.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. It seems like Gregory wants the best for one. He wants the best for his program, for his school, because he's the assistant athletic director. And it may be hard for, I don't know what kind of budget, because if you're in Southern Illinois, you're going to have to come. If you want to play in Chicago public school, you're going to have to come and stay at a hotel, probably pay your money to get in the tournament or if it's a one game situation. And then a lot of public schools don't really want to play teams that they don't really know about, So if you had a great program, right? I'm just throwing this out. I'm not talking about your particular program, but they'll look at it as you may come in and upset them. They don't want to get whooped either, Gregory. So if it's a program or school that they know about and they got good relationships, I know plenty of high school coaches that would do that because that's their guy,
Right.
I know Coach Slaughter at Whitney Young did that a lot with St. Louis. That St. Louis connections that he had. He would invite the St. Louis team to come and play him. They would go down and play St. Louis in St. Louis. So it is, you just got to build that relationship with those schools and say, man, look, let's make a home in a home. 1 year we come to your home, the next year you come to our home.
That's the key.
Something like that. But he said they are a 1A school.
1A, so he'll probably be playing schools like not even Morgan Park, because Morgan Park 2A, so they don't have that many students.
Right. So
he'll probably be playing mostly Catholic schools, but he can get a game against some of the big programs. You'll probably have to come to them though, no doubt. Yeah. They won't come to you. So
I think they will come to him if they get half of the door.
Yeah, you got to make something. You got to make it attractive, but they'll definitely come. Like you got Robert Smith. He's always taking Simeon on the road. You got Lou over there at Orr, right? Lou's at Orr. Lou will take them out. He'll bring them out. I mean, it's a lot of guys, man, that's looking to expose their kids to other things because in the inner city, sometimes our kids, they think that's all it is. So maybe if they come out there to Southern Illinois and realize Illinois is pretty damn big, Liv. Right. Man, you get about it Chicago, bro. It take what? 6 hours to get out of Illinois, man.
Right.
So yeah, definitely, man. I would love it, man. I'd love to see it.
But let's jump into that next one, man, that you had brought up to me a while back, and you not a while back, but just recently you told me Juwan Howard was on this show and he was giving me mad props. So he was like, man, you got to go check it out. And then I checked it out, and then I heard some comments that wasn't, true about me. So I want to get that clear and, set that, put that out there.
Actually, it happened twice, man, on the show.
Yeah.
With Larry Johnson and with Juwan Howard when they was on that other podcast.
Right. But I want to just get it clear so to people who may listen to that podcast and say, I never been to jail, never played basketball with a house arrest bracelet on my ankle with my PO, my parole officer sitting at the end of the bench. That was never me, never happened. So I just wanted to get that put out there in the open because they got a lot of followers and people starting to call me and thinking that I was in, basically in jail one time. Man. You got to be in jail to have that house arrest on. And that never was the case with me. Never.
And when they said it though,
it was in a joking way.
Huh?
It was in a joking way, meaning like they said that I dropped 40 points or 40 points on someone with the house arrest bracelet on my ankle. It was kind of funny, It wasn't like, I don't think they were trying to be hurtful. It's just,
Oh, that was no malicious intent. No. Because the guy who said it, he said it twice. So he really didn't know.
Right.
He really didn't know. And he was stood on it. He was like, man, look, I seen the man got, with his PO give over 40. I like.
Right. I mean, he got one thing right. I was giving people 40. He got that part right.
He definitely got that right.
Yeah, man. He got that one right, man. But shout out.
House arrest bracelet, that wasn't you.
No, house arrest bracelet, no, never. But big shout out to Juwan Howard, man. He basically, I didn't even know this, man. He looked up to me like that,
Oh, man. Juwan Howard said, man, hey, look. They asked him, who did he look up to? Who did he want to be like? He said, man, I want to be like Marcus Liberty. Now, we're talking about Juwan Howard, Michigan, Miami, head coach at
Michigan.
Michigan, your head coach at Michigan. I'm sorry, Miami. Just the whole gamut, man. I mean, for him, for you, do you realize how much of an impact you had on his career, bro? And for you keeping your nose clean too, that led to it too, bro.
Yeah, just listening to him, speak, I had to call him, man, and tell him how much I appreciated that, because you just don't hear it. You don't hear stories like that. That they asked him the question, who did you look up in high school in high school? And he said my name, and he went on with it. He didn't say, he said he wanted every award that I had.
He sure did.
And that to me is special, man. But that's I just wanted to get that clear, man.
And then LJ said it too. LJ was like, man, he was a big dude. I watched him play. He like going around his back. He like, hold on, man, come on down here to the paint, man.
Yeah. Which is that's another one that's just funny to me. That anybody who ever watched me play know I wasn't scared of nobody really.
Right.
My game was perimeter, but I wasn't a knockdown, like straight up shooter. So I went to the basket, sir. Like you said, sir. Man, I went to the basket. So, but he said that I didn't. He was looking forward to playing against me. That's what he said. He said he was looking forward to playing against me. And then the McDonald game, which was played in Philadelphia in 1987, we were on the same team, me and Larry Johnson.
That's crazy.
So how was he gonna get me in practice? And in practice, I wasn't even really in practice because I had to fly back to Chicago and take the test, the ACT test, because I was trying to get that passing grade so I can play my freshman year in college. So I didn't even practice. So I didn't even start in that McDonald All-American game. A lot of people don't know that. I didn't even start.
Oh, wow.
I came off the bench and still had 18 points.
Wow.
So,
man, you said you flew back to take the ACT. Mm-hmm. You mean you flew back to go to sleep on the ACT? Hey, man, that 3-hour test, boy, I was in that mug like this. I was at lip blue, like, is it over?
I didn't sleep on it, but, man, I was trying my best to get it over.
That bias test, man, that test is horrible, man. Terrible. Yeah. I'm glad that they got rid of that.
Yeah. So now we got that out the way. Let's jump on back to the social media part of with the youngsters that trying to brand themselves, or some of them just don't know how to brand themselves. What you have a son, they play basketball. Do they have big followers?
Well, Jay Reed, my oldest son, he on there on Instagram. He got a lot of followers, but he could do more, and they got this big misconception in their head that they're gonna go put in the work and then pop up out of nowhere. And what I keep telling them is nothing exceeds like excess. You got to constantly promote, man, if you want people to know who you are, And I just think that they're not taking advantage of their total opportunity with this social media, because it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it's different, man. Like I said, when we played, it was newspapers. Now you can promote what you want, on social media if it's, beyond the fine print. You can't put explicit, things up there, but you can definitely make some money, doing that. I always say, I said it now, and I said it before on our podcast, that the more people you have following, more followers you have, the better opportunity you have to make some money at it. Because these companies, these corporations, they look at that. Like the kid that we was talking about earlier that's going to Ohio State that's make $1.4 million for over 3 years, but he has 30,000 followers.
Wow.
So
wow.
He's promoting whatever he's going to be promoting to 30,000 people, and some people has over
a million.
Yeah, over 600,000, a million followers. So those are the people those corporations are going to be looking at, to try to attach their brand to their name.
And I love it, man. I love it. That just lets you know it's the free enterprise, Everything right now is wide open. So I mean, if you're a business mind, you're a business person, there's no better time than the present, man, to get yourself out here and start promoting. By the way, don't let me forget. I know the last couple of shows. Make sure y'all go get that coaching device, man. I appreciate all the support y'all been giving with the coaching, man. I appreciate that, man. Demetrius, I mean, all y'all, man, constantly just hitting me up for it, man. So I appreciate that. www.coachingdevices.com.
That's where you go get it, huh?
Absolutely.
And that brand, back to the brand again, man. Like branding. What do you think to get some shy kid who's a doggone good basketball player, but he really doesn't mess with the social media? The social media.
My son, man.
Will those kids get left behind?
They'll get left behind, bro.
It's crazy.
Like you said it, Liv. You was like, most of the schools are recruiting the kids with the popularity behind their names. That's why LeVar Ball and them so hot. Man, them boys got 600,000-700,000 millions of followers, man. Those teams, Michael Jordan looking at them as dollars. Those are jerseys being sold. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing our young people got to realize. It becomes more than just, well, I don't want to get on there. No, everything is your brand. You are a walking brand. You got to get your face out there.
Well, you are a big talker. Why don't you do it for your family? Why don't you
they don't want me to do it, man. I tried, man. They like, Dad, we got this.
Man, you need to just do it. You need to just do it every day. You need to put something out there about your shorties, about your kids, and tell them to go follow or go subscribe to their YouTube, go subscribe to their Instagram, Twitter. You put it out there, man.
I'm gonna do it anyway. They're gonna just have to be mad.
They don't be mad because they're gonna be like, Dad, I'm getting all these followers.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all go over there and follow Colin Reed, Jordan Reed, and Kobe Reed, man, on social media, man. Follow them on Instagram, man. I don't know if them dudes gonna follow you back, but
right.
Yeah, but I just think, man, right now it's no better. It's a free market, man. Everything is just off the charts right now.
Right.
Like, we looking for sponsors, man. If you wanna put your stuff up on our show, we looking for people who got brands who might want to advertise on All Ball Chicago. I mean, we hit us up, man. Hit me and Marcus up. We on all the major streaming platforms, so your stuff is gonna get seen. You know,
just inbox either me or Bobby Reed.
Yeah,
and we'll go from there. My email is mliberty@marcusliberty.com. That's where you can find me if you have any questions about the sponsorship. Yeah, we definitely need to talk about what it looks like, in your neighborhood, what you see in your neighborhood. Let's talk about when you were growing up. What did you see in Roseland?
Oh man, it was a lot of fast living, bro.
Fast living, huh?
Fast living, man.
So is it like I'm not talking about the gangs when I say four corners. I'm talking about, is it like the four corners of your drugstore on the corner, liquor store on the corner, your gangbangers on that corner?
Yeah, that's
prostitutions on that corner.
Man, I think back, man, from 1985 to like 1999, between 103rd and Wentworth to 103rd and Michigan, it was 10 liquor stores. And we had a little trap hotel. So it was so much crime in that neighborhood. But here's the thing, not one black-owned liquor store. All the liquor stores was owned by Arabs. So during that time, they were selling liquor to minors. You know that. Man, that's when our neighborhoods was ravaged, when they put all those liquor stores out there. And that's when all the drugs came. So now you got liquor, you got drugs, and then what you gonna bring with liquor and drugs? You're gonna bring gangs, you're gonna bring violence. So man, it seemed like it was a ploy. Kind of like when crack hit our hoods, it's the same thing right now with the guns. Somebody's strategically placing this stuff in our communities, man, to continue to sedate us and keep us blinded, because it's in the music. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think the music coincide with the way that we were living back then, remember, people were selling dope. That was the thing. Now they playing with guns. That's in the music. So we have to be careful to fall for these narratives, man.
Yeah, it's always been like that though, Bob. What you hear constantly over and over again, you tend to believe.
Mm-hmm.
No matter who's the one speaking it, right? You tend to believe, like, if you're hanging around in your neighborhood and you see somebody always drinking and they always talking, and then you think that's what it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get that opportunity to pick up your drink and start sipping, now you become an addict or addicted to
Mm-hmm.
something. And in my case, it was basketball, that I saw my older brothers play. Uh, my older brothers did other things too that they wasn't supposed to do, but I looked at it as a way, seeing them like being whatever, not focused and slurring their words and being,
Right.
drunk. It was like, I don't want that.
Right.
I didn't want that. So that's why I said some people, if you're not trained to be able to say, you know what, I know who I am and I know what I'm all about. And I know I'm trying to get out of here, not out of here to not ever come back, but to know what, to make a better way for myself.
Right. Right.
And I don't think a lot of people think like that, because of, okay, I go to this school, it's my neighborhood school. They're not really teaching me nothing. So school becomes boring. And then you start to say, you know what, let me go hang out with this person and this person. They're not the right people, but they giving you stuff that you probably never heard. Like, for instance, if I never sell drugs and I'm hanging around a drug dealer and I'm watching him, how he packing it up and he's doing this and that, eventually I'm going to get intrigued by it and say, maybe I should try to do that.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful who we let our kids hang around with.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, because in the neighborhood last week, I had a chance to go talk to the church and talk to those young people that time last week, and it reminded me a lot of the things that I went through when I sold drugs after I got out of high school, because that was the popular thing to do in the neighborhood. Everybody was doing it. Everybody thought they was gonna be rich, but then when heads start falling, people getting killed, people going to jail, you don't look at that part. And I would say I was one of the lucky ones, Liv, because I got a chance to get out of here. I reached that fork in the road, man, and I knew it. And sometimes we ignore it, but I knew it. I saw that fork in the road, and I was just like, man, I got to get out of here.
Right.
I was like, man, shoot, I'm on my way to being a product of the environment, because, when we get up in the morning to go to school, be the same people up in the morning at the bus stop getting drunk, talking trash. And, you like, man, you could very well be that.
Yeah.
So that fork in that road for me in 1989, when I left and went away to school after all of the stuff that I went through, I just think back to that, man. And it's scary. Sometimes I wake up like, dang, what if I wouldn't have did that? Like, what if I wouldn't have left, Liv? Like, like, oh, shoot, man, I'd have been stuck out there in the hundreds, man. I'd probably be messed up. But I was not going to allow the fact that I lost both my parents early on to be the deciding factor where I ended up at. People who lose their parents, Liv, and they be like, man, that's it, man, dude, I give up. I was like, no, I ain't doing that. I'm going the other way. I'm going to make this thing happen. I don't care what nobody say. And I just kept trudging at it. Yeah, I just kept going, like I wasn't going to let that be my outcome determine my income, so to speak, you know? And if anybody's watching and you going through stuff, I would just tell you, man, just keep putting one foot in front of the other, because every day is different. And Liv, that just as well. I mean, you've been to the height, you've been down, you've been up, you've been down. But look at you now. You're running one of the most successful programs in Sarasota,
Well, it's like this, Bob, though. You got to think about it. I've never seen or heard of anybody just stayed on top all the way through. So you're gonna have that roller coaster ride. You're gonna have those loops. Yeah, I played basketball. Yeah, I made money. Yeah, I lost money. Yeah, I was in relationships. I got divorced. It's up and down. And was I happy to get a divorce? No. I was down. I got really down. Didn't know what I was going to do, and I went through some things.
Right.
But from all in all, if I didn't have a praying grandmother, who I knew I could lean on, and my mother and my elder brothers, that guided me and things, it helped me get through. It helped me get through those situations, man. But I haven't been through that growing up like a kid like yourself who lost both parents,
Right.
who had contemplated of doing something harm to himself.
Oh yeah, I did contemplate that suicide, man. I think about that when my mom, I don't tell people that. I haven't told people the whole story, a lot of that, but my mom was on her way up to Simeon to bring me some money to go watch Simeon play Hyde Park, and she was late. So me being ungrateful, little ungrateful, spoiled kid, like, man, where's she at, man? Man, where's she at? She's supposed to have been here. I'm not knowing that my mom had a brain aneurysm that day on her way up there. So she's in the hospital. My little ungrateful ass, man, I'm mad at her. But when I found that out, that changed up everything because she didn't die right away. So I got a chance to go to St. Bernard, the same hospital that Ben Wilson died a year prior to that. He died in 85. My mom died in 86. And she told me, she was laying on the bed. She was holding her head. She was like, I'm going to be all right. At that point, I knew I was going to lose my mom. But I just want people to understand that we have to quit taking our parents for granted and, taking the things for life that's in our life for granted.
No doubt.
Just like that, my senior year, my mom died. And I dropped out of school. I was like, man, forget this. And I thank Miss Gardner. I don't know where she is to this day. If anybody know Miss Gardner, any of her family from Simeon, she was a counselor. She came to my house every day. I peek out that curtain like, man, what the heck she want? I ain't going back to school. But if she didn't come over my house for 90 straight days, every day live, she didn't have to do that.
No, she didn't.
When I finally came to the door and talked to her, she told me, she said, I know you don't want to go back to school. I know you think people are going to talk about you. I know they are. They're going to talk about you. She said, but in 10 to 20 years from now, nobody's going to be talking about that.
No.
But you couldn't tell a 17-year-old kid that at the time. And I only failed one class. That was accounting.
Right.
And I had to come back to school for a whole year accounting because nobody was offering it. So when I walked in Simeon, man, they were laughing. It was people, they were like, damn, Robert Reed, I was a pretty popular guy. People knew me. Like, man, I thought you graduated. I saw the mumbles. It was funny then, but I used that, man. I took that and I used it as my motivation, Lib, to just keep going, bro.
Because you could have easily said, forget it. And I tried it, what's her name?
Miss Gardner.
I tried it, Miss Gardner. It's not working. These kids keep teasing me and talking behind my back. It's not feeling right.
It wasn't feeling right.
You could have easily went that route, but you stuck it out, and it finished. So that shows you what that to me, that shows the drive. At an early age, that you wasn't letting that stop you from moving forward. And I say that to any of our listeners who may want to give up. Things may not be going in the right direction. Look here, I played in the NBA the highest. I went through stuff. I went through things that I couldn't handle by myself. So I leaned on people that I knew I could trust, not looking at me as a bad person or somebody that's not right, but looking at somebody that I want to help uplift and get them back on track again.
Right. And I admire you for saying that on other shows. You said it. You said when you retired from the league, it took you 7 to 8 years or something like that to figure out what your next move was going to be. But you didn't give up. You didn't pack it in. You was like, it's got to be something. It's
if we all, with both of us, we already know our lives are like a story. It is a story,
Right.
So if you understand that if I can help someone with my story, then I'm going to tell my story.
Right.
No need of keeping that story amongst yourself. Share it, because you will be helping someone. It's going to register to some of our listeners. You lost both parents at a young age, man. I could not imagine what I would do if I lost both of my parents and I'm a teenager.
My dad was murdered. So my dad was gunned down, and they didn't take no money. They to this day, when I talked to my grandmother before she died, they all told me it was a gang initiation. So whoever killed my dad, they had to go out and kill somebody that night because they didn't take no money. My dad kept money. He had money in his pocket. They didn't take nothing. They just killed them and left them there. No, that was what my grandmother and them they told me. My mother and them told me. But you can't tell a 9-year-old kid that.
So you lost your dad when you was 9?
I was 9.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was one of those things because my mom, back then the mother was the stay-at-home mom. My mother didn't work. My dad was the breadwinner. So for her to try to figure out how she was gonna raise 4 kids, man, we remember, me and my sisters, we always look back at that like, whoo, we were lucky as hell. Because during that time, you remember Chicago will cut your gas off in the wintertime. Well, we'd be all in one room with a space heater, Jack, like, and I'm still going to school. Like, I'm still going to school. I don't care. I'm going,
That's too funny.
But Mama made it happen. She stuck with us, man. She pushed it through. And to this day, that's why I'm so resilient with what I do, because I know if I can make it through that, I can make it through anything,
No doubt. No doubt. Wow.
That's why I always preach, Lib, it ain't about money.
That's
why I always tell people it's not about money. It's about the relationships, man. If you create good relationships, you'll always have an opportunity to be successful.
No question, man. We talked about this on one of our shows. I can't remember which one. We did so many of them. By the way, if you want to go listen to some of them, go to make sure you go subscribe to our YouTube channel, All Ball Chicago. That it's hard, man. But let's give some shots. Let's get some shots out, man. Shout outs to some of our listeners, man. Your boy Hallis is on here, definitely. Arthur Agee, definitely good shout out to my boy Arthur Agee. Jimmy Red, my man Jimmy Red grew up with me in the low ends. What's up, Jimmy? And
hey, Arthur Agee, we got to get you on a one-on-one show. Last time we pulled you out the bleachers.
Yeah. So Arthur, and let's talk about who we got Monday. Monday, I'm definitely gonna put it out there. Probably Sunday night. I'll put it out there over the weekend. I'll put it out there post. We got JJ Anderson going to be joining us.
I can't wait to talk to JJ Anderson.
Mitchell JJ Anderson will be joining us Monday. So we got him on Monday, and he's going to talk about some of the things that he did and accomplished and all that great stuff. So make sure you tune in at 12 o'clock Central Standard Time and 1 p.m. if you're on the East Coast.
Hey, that damn J.J. Anderson was getting numbers like you in high school, bro. You heard that?
No,
getting 49 and shit like that.
No, J.J. Anderson, man, was the real deal, man.
Man.
The real deal. And if you guys got any questions about, wanted to ask him when he come on, make sure when I put the post, you put it up under there. That when we go live Monday, we will definitely ask the questions that you guys put down below.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, Lib, I ain't got nothing else left, man. I feel like we dropped some jewels on them, man. Make sure they tune in next week. And Miss Foster hit me up. You gave Miss Foster all that love, baby. Word must have got back. You know what I'm saying?
T. Sampson said anyone can make statements today. Anyone can make statements today.
Oh, yeah.
T. Sampson.
T. Sampson.
Yeah, T. Sampson, I be seeing you doing your thing too, man, with the walk and your motivation. You motivate a lot of us, man, to keep going, keep pushing. I see you getting out there running and jogging and walking and dropping knowledge. So T. Sampson, pray all is well with you, my brother, and keep doing what you're doing, man.
Absolutely. And Liv, you've been picking up a few 10,000 steps a day doing your thing too, right?
I have to, dude,
I can see you losing weight. I can see it in your face, man.
My health is important, man. I really do know that. I'm not going to say I believe that. I know that my health is important to me, because I got people that look up to me, meaning my family, so
absolutely, man.
So I gotta stay, here as long as I can. If I can do it, so can you.
That's right.
Working out, and like Terry Sampson, what he's doing, he's not going out there, sprinting right off the top. He'll jog, he'll walk. Do whatever you can to keep your health intact, man. Because with COVID and eating bad habits, it can mess us up, man. Heart, high blood pressure, diabetes. And, it's right there, man. It runs into a lot of our families.
And black folks, we got to stay away from that soul food.
But
That
man,
soul food will have your soul in the ground, bro. All that salt and all that fatty food. Hey, look, I ain't preaching. I ate it forever. I ain't gonna lie, I ate it forever, man. And every now and then I might dip back. But you got to make sure you eating the right stuff, man. Putting the right stuff in your body, hydrating your body, man. And good things can happen for you. So,
yeah, and we might do a segment on losing weight. Maybe we all go live one day and we out there jogging, or we out there running, and we all out there talking, man. Maybe we'll do it with Terry Sampson on his page. You know,
let's do it.
We'll bless Terry, and we'll be on his page. Everybody come on, and we all out there walking, man, and enjoying. Because that's one thing I noticed, man. We always talk or put someone else down, but we never uplift each other. You know? And I'm not gonna say never. We do uplift each other, but I'm saying,
but not enough.
Most of the time we're tearing somebody down because of what they got. Yeah. And we shouldn't do that. Shouldn't be the case. So let's do that, man. And remember, Monday, Mitchell J.J. Anderson will be joining us. Make sure.
Let's go.
And you see my shirt, guys. Let me show this shirt one more time. In honor of my man Benji Wilson, I have the shirt on, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nothing but love. Yeah. So, Bob, I know you got to go. I see you got the McDonald All-American jacket on.
Yeah, man. I always had dreams of being one, so I just ate there.
But man, you go out there, man, and you out there in the streets, man. Be safe, and make sure you go get the culture. Hit them up. Also, go get the Hilux drink. I'll place it down there at the bottom for you. Go get your Hilux. And also, here goes my man, the culture. Get the culture.
And make sure y'all book me, man. I'm coming out to the schools. I'm coming out talking to the kids, man. Hit me up. Go to my page. Check out, man. I went to talk to the kids in Inglewood. I got the fever. I'm ready, man. I come out for the free 99, but you got to make it attractive, man. Give me lunch or something. Buy me a sandwich or buy me a burger or something.
Yeah, but Bob, you need to be out there speaking, man, doing some speaking, especially to our Chicago youth, whether it's through churches, whether it's through community centers. You should be out there telling your story, man. And I think you can touch a lot of our youngsters, man, by doing so.
Absolutely, bro. And hey, look, don't tell them we thinking about starting a prep school. We ain't gonna tell y'all the name of it. But me and Liv been talking. If y'all know some vacant buildings out there, hit us up with them, man. Cause we looking to bring a prep school to Chicago, man. So hit us up. We gonna hit the ground running.
Right. So that's it, Bobby, for today, man. Be safe again. Like I said, I don't like you out there driving, man. And I'm sure you pulled over to the side for these 47 minutes.
Yeah, man. And I've been actually resisting the temptation to be a bad influence and be drinking and driving. So I'm going to just go home and do it.
Yeah, don't do that.
I ain't going to do that. But, man, this was a good one, Liv, man. We dropped a lot of knowledge, man. And let's go. New season, baby.
New season. We even got an outro now. So tell us how you like the outro. And we love you all. Be safe. I want to say I love to my family and my friends. Nothing but love. Nothing but love.
Peace.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank y'all for watching.
Chicago. Oh, Chi-Town. Oh, Chicago. Oh, Chi-Town. Oh, Chicago. Oh, Chi-Town. Oh, Chicago. Oh, Chi-Town.